You ever have one of those days? You know you've got these huge dreams, but you look up and you spend hours just scrolling. It's like being stuck in quicksand, even when you want so much more for yourself. Well, today, we're going to talk about the blueprint for building a life that's not just ambitious, but one that feels truly meaningful. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, it's that constant battle, isn't it? The cozy, warm comfort of your bed versus, the promise of that early morning workout. It's that tension, that pull between what feels good right now and what you know deep down is what you want most. And that one little conflict, man, it defines so much of whether we make progress or just stay put.
To really get to the heart of this, let's tell a story. Let's talk about Arjun. He's this really talented software engineer, and his dream is to launch his own tech startup. But there's a problem. He also really loves late-night video games and sleeping in. So his huge ambition is in this constant war with his daily habits.
Yeah, on one side you've got the siren song of the now. You know the one, that magnetic pull of just one more episode, the mindless comfort of scrolling through a social media feed. And then on the other side, there's that quiet whisper of what you want most. That's the energy you get from being healthy, the pride of building something yourself, that deep, lasting sense of purpose. For Arjun, this daily tug-of-war was just exhausting. It left him feeling completely and utterly stuck.
So, feeling totally paralyzed by this daily struggle, Arjun ends up venting to his older sister. And she just so happens to be a super successful entrepreneur herself. She listened, really patiently, and instead of giving him some big lecture, she said something that would pretty much change everything for him.
She didn't offer him some 5-step plan or the latest productivity hack you see online. No. Instead, she just helped Arjun see his entire problem in a totally new light. She simply reframed the whole challenge.
She explained that building his company, it wasn't about some giant leap of superhuman willpower. It was actually a lot more like construction. And she used this simple but really powerful metaphor to help him finally see the power of small, consistent actions.
First, she told him, stop picturing your startup as this giant, unconquerable mountain. Because let's be honest, when you're staring up at a sheer cliff face, your first instinct probably isn't to start climbing. It's to turn around and find the nearest couch. That whole perspective is just paralyzing.
And then she gave him the new image. Stop seeing a mountain, she said. Start seeing a wall that you are building. And your only job for today is to lay one single perfect brick. What a brilliant shift, right? It goes from this overwhelming conquest to a manageable, daily act of creation.
And that's when she delivered the core of the whole lesson. This is the very choice that separates a fleeting wish from a fulfilled ambition. For Arjun, it all became crystal clear. Playing video games, that's what he wanted now. But building his own company, that was what he wanted most.
You see, this single, simple choice, that's the whole key. Because it's not about the size of that one decision you make today. It's about what happens when you make it again tomorrow, and the day after that. That's what starts this powerful chain reaction.
This completely reframes how we think about discipline. I think a lot of us see it as a personality trait, something you're either born with or you're not. But his sister showed him it's not about being some kind of superhero. It's a skill you practice. It's just the simple, repeatable act of choosing your most over your now.
So how does this actually work in the real world? Well, it starts with just one choice. Arjun choosing to code for an hour instead of launching a game. Then, when he repeats that action, it stops being this huge, difficult choice, and it just starts becoming a routine. And that daily routine doesn't just lead to a new reality, it is the new reality, taking shape one day at a time. It becomes this awesome, reinforcing loop.
And this brings us right back to the wall. Every hour of coding, every little sketch for a business plan, that's Arjun laying another brick. His new routine is the process of building. And one day soon, he's going to look up and he won't see an intimidating mountain. He'll see the incredible foundation of the company he built himself.
This new perspective, it really did change everything for Arjun. It wasn't just some nice quote his sister gave him. It was a practical tool, like a brand new operating system for turning his ambition into real, tangible action.
That paralysis he was feeling, it was gone. It was replaced by this clear sense of purpose. He was no longer frozen by the fear of how much he had to do. Instead, he was energized by the promise of making a little progress every single day. And that's a shift we can all make. From asking, how will I ever finish this, to asking, what's my one brick for today?
And really, that's the question this whole story leaves us with. Forget the mountain for a second. Just look at the ground right in front of you. What is the one single brick you are going to lay today to start building the life that you truly want most?